Okay, that's on weapons.
That's a good point. I'll try and report this as well.
Just before I was using to get the cross there up. Switch on. You have to have it armed? No?
No, but make sure your inverter is on.
Ah, that fucking inverter again. Alright, set. God, I love the cavalry skin. Okay, everything's on the green. Let's go. Oh, I haven't loaded weapons, or is it preloaded?
Just got door gunners because you're running slick. Preacher is slick and Python is gunship.
Close to you. Get close to you. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Oh god, that was close.
It's Chang. You get used to it.
So you take off backwards. More power, a bit more power. Oh, I've got no power. God.
But is that Chang in front of me or not?
Oh, my throttle wasn't fully up. There we go. I must have knocked it with my pinky. Yeah, that's me in the air over at the moment. Two landed. Who's idle?
Adam is not even idle. It's not started yet. Let me just quickly put my dinner somewhere.
Get technical with me.
You are the one who asked.
My chopper is not right. Something is not powerful on.
How heavy are
We are at high altitude. We're already at 2,500 feet. It's hot, it's humid, and you've got 2 door gunners and full tanks. We don't even have full tanks, you've got half tanks actually.
That would be why.
It's hot and heavy. This is the kind of environment you need to learn how to fly in because that's the environment we've got in
That's that would make my flying look like child's play in a second then. Oi.
Here we go, Chang. Wait for this. Yep. Let's kind of see if I can do it.
What's up?
Here we go. You ready?
Do what?
Yes. Oh, wait. No, not quite, not quite. No, it's not steady. I'm trying to do a sideways flight. Quite steady. Okay, let's try that again. Go. Is there a control tower coming up? God damn it. Out of my way. Steady again and get to a hover.
Yeah, actually, I haven't seen your hover. Show me your hover.
Hover?
Yep. I'm going to line up right in front of you.
Okay. Steady, we'll slow down. Okay, I am Now trying to.
Hold that same altitude and spot.
No.
You got this. That's it. Hold that.
Ah.
No auto hover here in DCS.
No, thank God. Let me just get my shit.
There we go, Chang.
Very nice.
Now pass.
You do. Can you do it indefinitely?
Maybe. Same way. Let's turn around a bit.
Alright.
Okay, just gotta relax my grip on the stick.
Okay, let me line up next to you.
No. We're gonna get a bit higher.
Damn it, was it Control C or Alt C which was to close doors?
Right, Control C.
Control. Okay, there you go.
Turn the aircraft and the airframe as my control.
Oh dear. I might have disabled my mouse somehow by mistake. There we go. Got it now. So either left Alt or left Control.
Damn it.
Disabled.
Come on, Abby, show me shoulder.
Ah! Don't pressurize me. Hold on.
Okay, let's try that again.
New test.
I've done it before.
All tests.
Okay, here we go.
Now you have to remember that the breeze is constantly changing. When the wind picks up, you get more
Oh,
lift.
is that what it does?
Yep. So you're, in addition to balancing cyclic, you'll be balancing collective as well. It's just
Yeah, I
little,
am doing
like,
that.
touches up and down constantly.
It's just like this fucking throttle's pretty sticky as well.
Well, the radio's turned on automatically.
Sorry. So
We're on.
I'm doing
They are, but they're not on.
just moving away from our end, then I'll settle down.
What do you mean they're not on?
Listen, you got to turn them on.
Settling. Yeah, if I look at you, that will settle me down. So
I'll be confused about
I
that.
got some
anyway.
reference. Oh god, that's not settling me down. That's not settling me down.
So, mate, you be right. Just pick a hover target. See that thing in front of us? To your left, see the little light on the corner of the helipad? Just do a pedal turn. Just turn on the spot. Face me. Alright, see that little peg? Corner.
Got this front one here.
Yep. Look at that, and that's your hover target.
I'm sorry. I'd rather a bigger hover target than that.
Just pick that, because you might not have anything. You might just have a shrub or a tree out in the bush.
So I've got to be over that.
So no, you don't have to be over it. You just got to look at it. Hover
Oh,
target
just
is
look at it.
It's just,
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a thing that you look at. You lock your
Oh, I
eyes
see.
on it.
Makes
And you use it as a
makes
reference
sense.
point.
Damn it.
So don't use
Is it
me as a
dropping
hover
forward?
target.
Just let me get into the hover.
Because in a hover, it's front heavy. That's why you got to go cyclic back and left.
I'm doing that.
More back and left.
More power.
Not that much, not that much, not that much.
I'm almost at the end of my stuff. Collective. There we go.
That's too much, too much, too much. They use this other one at the front here. My
That
target.
must be like.
That's alright.
I'm sorry, Chang. I have been practicing this.
So make sure I'm not trimmed. Make sure my trim's right.
Oh dear.
No, don't use any trim at all.
Exactly, that's the thing. I'm making sure there's none on. I just gotta find the bit of trim button. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, let's try this again.
There we go. There we go. Oi! I'm hovering. Ish. Yep, there we go. So are we actually on a Vietnam map? Or are we on Caucasus that just pretending it's
We're in
not?
Caucasus, we're just pretending.
Okay.
This area.
It is a nice area. God damn it, why did you have to make me
Why have I got my warning light beep? Over throttling. Worried. Oh, fuck me, throttle. I knocked it down again. This might be why I'm having so much trouble.
What's your problem?
The throttle's
Is it-
fully up now.
Come on, Abby, just relax.
Right.
I feel like there's probably something behind me and I'm gonna hit something.
If you can have a target, it's just a
There
stationary
we go,
thing on
mate.
the
There we
ground.
go.
No, you can hold altitude as well, mate.
Trying.
Oh, touchy, touchy. Is she right about the swell? Oh, I say swell like a Navy man.
I would recommend, if you need your controls to be a bit more precise, as you go to the axis settings and you reduce the y-axis down to 95 or 90, because you never ever really need full cyclic movement in the stick.
Okay.
And then that, it sort of just deadens the whole thing a little bit more, which makes it, you know, much more easier to hover.
Although I
If you-
have been in situations where I had my joystick all the way back and my aircraft was still just level.
Yeah, well, try not to
You-
get in those
you talking about-
situations.
You're talking about Y though, you're talking about left and right. Okay. so
Y-axis, yep. So for both of them, X and Y axes, both of them in there, the saturation Y reduced to 95 or 90.
Okay. I will follow your lead.
If you like, you can add some curvature as well. I don't usually do it, but you can go maybe number 5 curvature.
Really? Oh, 24.
Oh, alright.
Got 24 and I'm already struggling.
I normally have no curvature. Do you know why you're struggling though? It's because when you're hovering, your stick is actually nowhere near the middle. The middle is the part of the curve that you're making like less sensitive, and you make it more sensitive towards the edges. So when you're hovering, your stick isn't actually in the middle, it's like back and left. So you're actually in
Very
the
true.
sensitive portion of the curve.
Oh. Okay.
So put it at 5 and leave it at that, but really it should just be 1 to 1. Because
Although-
in a plane, it makes a difference, but in a helicopter, your stick is never in the middle.
No, of course not. But okay, I'm gonna try. What did you say? 5.
For both.
Oh, 4. That's where it's ended up on. So you said saturation Y. Mine's at 85 already. I think you must have already spoken to me.
So y-axes should be like 95, 90 for both y and x. So don't get confused, sorry. The saturation y for both y and x axes of pitch and roll,
Yeah.
both of those should have a saturation y of 95 or 90 and have a curvature of about 5.
I had 85 set up before.
Oh well, that's fine then, if that's what you work with. That's probably why you had your stick all the way to one side.
Yep. I'm gonna put it up to 90 then.
Albie, you want to try a slope landing?
No, I'm doing pretty good right now. Look.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to do a slope landing. Wait, hold on. Let me just get this curve right.
There we go.
Okay, so in theory this should make it easier to stay in a
Alright,
slightly.
start moving around a bit.
I'm gonna go pick a steep area of hill. We'll do a slope landing on it. This looks good
Okay.
here.
Were you just hovering in front of me, or was that?
That was me.
So
Yeah,
Abby,
that's
come over here,
fine.
Abby. I'll show you how it works. So to do a slope landing, it relies on you being able to do a very steady hover.
Oh, okay.
You facing down the slope?
Nope, side on. It's really hard.
Side on.
Yeah, you never face down because you're going to endanger your
That's what I
tail motor up slope. So either your nose up slope or your side on. Side on's the best one because then people can get in and out of the helicopter.
Alright, I'm side on now.
Yep, so face me to get into hover.
Whoa!
Back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm used to the curves.
Alright, so now what you're going to do is lower yourself very slowly and have your left skid touch the uphill component of the hill.
Wait, we done it. We're dead. Get back, get back.
You're not ready yet, mate.
I'm ready. You just stay well back from me so I don't have to
You're
adjust.
coming to me. I'm not doing anything.
I'm not coming to you.
You are coming to me.
You're coming to me right now.
No, you're right now. You're moving towards me. Move back about 50 meters.
Just relax. Just relax.
You're still moving towards me. I'm gonna move backwards.
I'm pretty sure it's you moving towards me. I'm
100%.
my speed is reading 0.
No, that's because that's air speed. It doesn't actually pick up until you get like 20 knots.
Doesn't matter.
Alright, move back up about 20 meters.
Hornet doesn't pick up until you go past 48 either.
Alright, now you just hover there and you watch me while I do it and then you do it, right? Alright, so what you want to do is get to a perfect hover, nice and still, and then have one skid uphill. And what you do is you slowly lower down until the uphill skid touches the ground. So mine's touching the ground now. And you got to keep hovering and keep flying. Don't stop flying the aircraft at this point. Yep. So this is the hard part, right? Because your helicopter doesn't respond anymore. If you allow it to slide, you'll roll over, right? Which is why it needs to be a perfect hover. So you let your uphill skid touch the ground. You keep flying at that point. And then you slowly lower the collective, but while lowering the collective, you need to keep your rotor disc level with the horizon. So you need to, as you roll into the hill, as you like lower down onto the other skid, you need to roll your cycling stick move with it. So I'll demonstrate. Stand by it. That was actually bad because I still had some movement. You don't want any sliding at all because otherwise you'll roll. But so you pretty much hover perfectly level, let the uphill skid touch the ground, and then as you lower collective, the body will roll down the hill. So you have the cyclic, just keep it level with the horizon so you don't slide. The key is you don't want to slide. You don't want any sliding at all because if your skid catches a root or a rock, you'll flip over. Yep, good. And then lower down. Too much. Yeah, lower first. So it's just like that. So
And then slope.
The takeoff is the reverse. So you neutralize your control, so let go of your stick. And then when you're ready, that's when you've landed. When you're ready to take off, you move your stick so your disc is level with the horizon. Can you see my disc, by the way? Can you see it move? See I'm moving it left to right? Do you see it tilt? Do you see my disc tilting? Okay, I don't think it actually renders for the other person. That's okay. So what you do is you move your stick in to the left for you, to whichever position it was, to get it level with the horizon. You put it there. You raise collective slowly, and you're gonna roll up onto the skid that's uphill. And then once you're there, you lift straight up off the ground. So you're gonna roll into the hill slightly, so don't freak out. So you roll into the hill like this, and then straight up from there. So you're just bringing that skid up off the ground, and then.
Let's try a steeper hill.
You don't want to jerk up quickly because if let's say there's a root caught on your skid, you'll roll over and dynamic roll over and it'll kill everyone on board. So you don't want to jerk up. You want to always land and take off slowly.
This one.
Yep.
Oh, it's a bit down as well. Okay, that's not slow. I'll go up a bit this way. Oh, sorry, you're going behind you. This one is because it's a bit uneven. Go to this grass patch up here, which looks like a nice even slope. Slow down, you cunt. There we go. Alright, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No. Oh, it pulled me left. It's not a big enough slope. We need bigger slopes.
DCS is really forgiving because there's no roots or anything for your skids to catch on. It's for all intents and purposes, it's smooth ground.
Let's try over this hill. There might be a steeper.
You know, like when you're playing golf and you chip the lawn, you got a little bump there. That bump is enough to flip your helicopter over. If you slide down into it, your skid gets caught in it.
Seriously?
So in reality, you don't want any movement on the ground at all. When you take off and land any time at all, your skids never slide on the ground, ever. So that's why you want to, and that's what I find a lot of guys in DCS do wrong, is they try to land perfectly on the ground in one motion, but in reality you should aim to get into a hover above the ground and then lower down. It doesn't matter if you're driving in from like 5,000 feet, your goal is to get into an 8-foot hover above the ground. That's your target, and then once you're there, you lower straight down. You don't go straight to the ground.
Yeah, with the tutorial for the DCS, well, the tutorial, the training mission actually has that information saying that you have to hover first and then land.
Yeah, exactly. Like the landing straight on the ground, yes, you can do, but it's much more advanced. It's called a 0-0 landing.
Why is 0-0?
My biggest problem
It's
is
0 altitude, 0 speed. You just go straight down and kiss the ground perfectly, but you don't slide and you don't roll, you don't anything.
Sorry, Albie.
I think this might be a bit steep.
You asking for steep, bro.
Alright, I'll try this one. My biggest problem is, yeah, just fucking losing the forward momentum hover. So I'm either too far tail back and then I put the tail too far back, but if I put it too push forward anymore, I start moving. So I don't want my tail hitting the freaking ground
but the tail
before
has
me.
a stinger. It protects it from the ground.
Here we go. I'm going to try this side hover. Look at me. You there looking at me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Okay, oh, I've got forward momentum. I've got to stop. I've got to stop. I've got to stop. I've got to stop.
I'll do it behind you. Same thing.
No, sliding. It's too steep.
This is an incredibly steep hill.
It's too steep. It's too steep.
In real life, this would actually be beyond the design limitation of the helicopter.
It is in this game too.
I'll give it a go though. I'll give it a go.
It's too steep. I did that nicely and it was too steep.
Oop.
Oh no!
Yep, that is definitely too
Oh
steep.
no. Oh no. Here we go, we'll practice on this nice easy slope. Alright.
Nah, there is actually a limitation, like an upper limit to how steep it can be, because your rotor disc, you know how I say when you make it level to the horizon, it's actually getting quite close to the uphill segment of the hill.
Yeah.
And so in that case, my rotor blade hit the ground. It's too steep.
Go down nice and gently. It's not nice, it's not nice. God, where are you?
Dude, don't worry about me. I'll be like,
Okay, slow down, slow down. Okay, here it goes. Nice and gently. Fuck. I'm sliding, I'm sliding, I'm sliding.
Yeah, you are.
And let's take off before I die.
Alright, so that's so in that case, that hill is actually too steep. It's beyond the design limitation of the Huey, so you wouldn't land, you would just do a hover and your troops would get in and out like you doing a low hover.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway. So let's try, do you guys trust formation flying since there's 3 of us here?
Yeah.
Let's go find the base again.
Oh, I
Love
see.
you.
It's to your 3 o'clock, Albie.
Thank you.
Now you're going in circles. You're at 10 o'clock now.
Oh, right up there.
Yeah.
Thought it was closer.
Nope.
Let's see, just check.
You drifted that far when you were doing all that practice.
So if we'll all land facing the same way, take off, and I'll show you the formations they use. So the main one they use is called trail formation, which is pretty much just a straight line, except every helicopter to the, like the one in front of you, put it slightly below you. So it's like as the trail goes along, the rear helicopters are higher than the front ones. Just sort of stepped up each time.
Funny, because in aircraft it's the other way around. They're lower as they get further back in the formation.
So if you like, I'll lead out and you guys can trail off me and we'll just take turns being the lead. So the lead guy has the least amount of work. I guess he doesn't have to keep in formation, but he's also got the highest amount of responsibility because he has to hold a perfect speed and altitude, otherwise everyone else is going to be bobbing around behind you.
Oh yeah.
So I will try my best. I'm going to try my best to hold 60 knots and straight and level at whatever altitude I pick. And then I'll let you know when I make my turns or descents or ascents, right?
Yep.
So if you guys all start from the ground.
Or what?
I'm gonna get to. Oh, you're on the 12. Oh, okay. I'll get on your
So
right
Albie,
side
do you
then.
want to back up and just sit between the pads? Aaron, you go on the pad to the rear of Albie, and I'll go on the front pad. So we're already in the formation. We're already in the line.
Okay. Yep.
Albie, I'm just gonna lift and go where you are, basically, and you just back up.
Wait, I think I misunderstood which one's behind Albie. I don't know which one of you is Albie.
There's
I'm
there's two
reversing right
pads.
now.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
Albie's going between the pads. I'm going on the front pad, and you're going on the rear pad.
Oh, I see. Okay. Whoa! Woo! That was lucky.
Is that near me? Alright.
Oh, I almost crashed to the ground for some reason.
Some on your left.
Yep. So tri
left.
formation is we're going to be perfectly behind each other, but each successive Huey is slightly higher than the rear one.
Oh, higher. So directly
Higher.
behind but higher.
Yes, not too much higher, but like just above. So
Just
if you had a,
roaches don't hit.
if we had a long line of like 50 Hueys, you would see the entire line
What
in front of
distance?
you. Well, they flew like 8 feet in Huey in Vietnam, but we'll make it a bit simpler for you.
Find that very hard to see. Wouldn't you be near, like under my
Yeah,
dash
yeah.
almost?
Yeah, the tail rotor will be about 8 feet away from your nose.
So
Well, to make it easy for you, aim to be within 1 or 2 rotor distances, shall we? Rotor diameters. So about the length of a Huey behind me, but tighten it up as much as you can.
Reset.
Alright, I'm going to try my best to hold 60 knots, and I'll just pick a random altitude, and I'll let you know when I'm straight and level, otherwise I'll be climbing and building up speed. So, now we try our best to lift at the same time, so what we do is, I'll say, we're going to prepare to take off, so you just start lifting your collective, but don't actually leave the ground just yet. Oh, I already did. Lighter than I thought. Alright, and then I say, one's lifting, and then you should only need a little bit more collective, and you'll get airborne.
you're lifting.
3.
Trying to.
Jump. I jumped up there. For some reason.
So I'm just going to maintain pretty much this altitude because we're actually already quite high. It's just we're going off the hill now. So I'm just going to nose over and aim for 60 knots.
No.
Sorry, I slowed down a bit too.
Whoa! Why was I skidding across the ground?
Alright, I'm at 60 knots. Now I'm just trying to not stop climbing. So I'm just slowly adjusting my collective.
So I,
Alright. I'm mostly
Very
straight and
unsafe.
level at 60 knots.
too far behind, trying to speed up to you.
My exhaust temperature's much too high.
Um,
Alright.
oh, it feels so slow at this height.
I'm broken, but trying to reform.
Let me know once you formed.
I'm a little far behind, but I'm behind you and up.
See if you can close that distance.
Just keep maintaining your speed, boy.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
your
at
speed's pretty much
65
what I'm
now.
doing.
Speed back at the right moment.
Yep. 60 knots, straight and level.
There we go. There's Albie. Found you. Okay, resettled.
See if you can close the gap.
Yeah, I'm closing shortly. That's 65, but it must be going more than 60.
Yeah, I'm just a hair above it.
Okay, I'm bringing it up to the 70.
I'll close it when I close it. I'm already at 70, I'll be. I'm crashing to your next.
No, Albie, sorry, Aaron, you should be slightly higher than Albie and behind him.
Really? So it keeps going higher. When does it start going down into the formation of say 8?
No,
Doesn't-
that
Four ships.
formation's a 50, and it'd be like a big diagonal line in the sky. Yep. It's only slightly higher, like it's not like 100 feet higher.
Not what you're doing right now, I'll be.
Are they higher than him? Good height?
Well, from my perspective, you are, but then again, it might be just my altitude.
There you are quite high, Albie.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm comfortable right now. This distance and speed.
Alright. I'm definitely settled. Since you're in between me and Chang.
Very good. So I'm going to hold this, I'm going to start a timer. I'm going to keep this up for a minute or so, and then I'm going to do a maneuver, which is just a turn away. It's nothing extreme. So timer started, 60 knots, straight and level.
Yeah, come on, come on, Adam. If you can't hold this, you're an idiot.
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Just focus.
You're looking good.
Very minute movements, and just while we're going, while we're being calm and slow, try and close the gap as well.
My collective, I just can't. Little movement I do is just a big jump.
Here's a tip, Albie. There's actually a switch on the real life collective, and I've got it actually mapped to my actual collective as well. Switch just flicks up and down, and all it does is just very, very fine tunes the N1 speed of the turbine, so you can slightly increase the speed or slightly decrease the speed, and it's just for the fine tuning it. So what I do is, like, I'm flying straight and level, but I see that I'm slightly higher than 60, for example. I'll just fine tune it up slightly.
So that's what that is.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can get it mostly there with your throttle, and then just use the fine tune to just fine tune the last little bit to get it perfect. That's what I'm doing. It's almost like trim, but for your collective.
Speed, I got a bit close here then.
It's
Lost sight of
falling.
Albie as he dropped away.
It's
Right.
falling apart.
There
You're too high, Aaron.
Yep, I know I am. Right now.
Come on. Keep it up, guys.
Those little switches you were doing was throwing me off.
Come on, guys.
Back.
Good formation. I'll just wait for Aaron to form up. It's been a minute and a half, but we'll just, I'd say that's pretty good there. Alright, so I'm going to do a very lazy maintain. I'm going to keep, remember when you turn, you're going to start dropping, so you need to add power to not drop. So I'm going to maintain altitude straight and level, 60 knots, but I'm going to turn left very lazily. So 3, 2, 1, turning left very lazily. And I'm maintaining 60 knots straight and level.
For some reason, I've gone way faster than you, even though I'm under 60.
Yeah, well, it's plus or minus a little bit. That's the target speed. I'd admit I'm a little under it now.
Yep, that's fine. I've regained my... No, I was in my position. Now I've just veered off to the right as you've been turning.
Yep.
Yeah, I need a map that governor switch.
Yep. So I'm just going to do a 180 and head back to where we came. Still doing approximately 60 in straight and level.
Great.
Well,
But, so level. Alright, I'm going to straighten up. I've got green smoke. There's our LZ. We're going to land in trail formation. So you just stay in my formation the whole way in. And then when we, because I'm slightly below you, we're sort of perfectly poised to be in a landing formation, right? That's the whole idea. And you just take it really slow and easy, and we're just gonna. Well, when we get on the ground, we'll eventually be in a line, just like when we took off.
unless of course we crash into each other. But let's not think about that.
Just take it easy. I'm gonna make this the most like gentle and slow landing ever. So I'm already started my descent. I'm just lowered my collector slightly, but I'm gonna stay at 60 knots. My descent rate, I'm gonna get it to about negative 500 feet per minute. Really gentle descent, but maintain 60 knots.
And of course, typical me, I've increased altitude.
Now here's a trick. Speed is controlled with cycling, climb rate is controlled with collective. So if you leave the collective exactly where it is, and you're too slow or too fast, just lean forward or back slightly. That's your speed stick, and it's actually very fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to increase the descent rate to negative 1,000 feet. Maintain 60 knots. still at 60 knots, and I'm at a negative 1,000 feet descent rate.
Just, yeah. Oh,
It's
God
alright.
damn it, speed up. Slow down, I mean.
60
Can't
knots.
slow this fucker down.
Just raise your nose.
There we
That's
go.
all you
I'm
gotta do.
trying.
Raise your nose.
Yeah, the thing is, as you drop collective, your aircraft naturally just
Drops its nose. Yeah.
Couldn't
so
get it. I
when
was
you-
pulling right back.
When you lower collective, pull back on the cyclic. When you raise collective, push forward on the cyclic, always. I'm just going to hold this 60 knot, 1,000 feet sink rate the whole way in. At the very last minute I'll flare, but I'll just hold this the whole way in.
Yeah.
So I'm just turning right slightly to get a bit of longitudinal distance. And I'm going to start slowing down, but maintain the 1,000 feet per minute sink rate.
I am.
So just slowly bring the nose up, and I'm going to 50 knots. Target speed's 50 now. I'm going to hold that 50. And I'm bringing up a bit more. Target speed is now 40 knots. As you bring your nose up, you need to lower the collective, otherwise you'll start climbing. Just maintain negative 1,000. And then I'm now doing 30 knots. Start flaring and curb that descent rate. You don't want to be going too fast down when you're going slow. Just raise the nose, curb the descent rate just like you're flying for an auto rotation. And you bring your power in as you come into land. And rest on the ground.
Make it sound so easy.
I just like coasted the whole way in just then. I didn't have to do anything crazy.
I'm about to overshoot. Oh, no, correction. I'm
Circle
about to
around.
go to the ground instead.
Yeah, don't drop, build up speed. You're gonna VRS.
Yep.
Oh, oh.
That was
down.
a terrible landing. I have
Yep.
tanked to shit.
So, yeah, the thing is, right, when you go below about 40, we'll say 30 knots. When you go below 30 knots, you're now prone to VRS. So to
Yeah.
not VRS, don't let your sink rate be greater than negative. It should be 300. We'll say 500 DCS. You get a bit of fat in this.
Yeah.
So you notice that I was negative 1,000 the whole way in, negative 1,000 sink rate. I was sinking quite fast, and
But
then
you
as
maintain 60.
but I maintained 60. Then I started to slow down 50, then 40, but I maintained negative 1,000. And then as I approach the sort of flare altitude of about 100 feet, as I start to flare, I bring the nose up, it curbs the sink rate. As I slow down to land, it curbs the sink rate. You get it. So by the time I'm slower than 30 knots, my sink rate's only negative 500 or less, because you don't want to be sinking too fast at the last moment, because
Yep.
otherwise you'll VRS. But if you want to just maneuver up behind us, you guys can switch position if you want. So we'll go Aaron in the middle and Albie back if you want to give us some space. Albie? That was good, very good.
I'll be you moving and I'll move after.
No, you move across, Aaron. Taxi across. Get in between us.
See that fucking maneuver I just pulled?
Well,
So
rever-
sweet.
Reversing.
Like professionally though.
Very good.
Reversing like a boss. I know how to do this balance, but I'm not doing it today. I don't know why. Yep.
That's right. Happens to the best of us.
No, it just happens to me. You're the best.
Nope, definitely not.
I'll get there eventually.
How are you finding the new curve settings?
I'm trying to get used to them still. That's why I'm so shaky.
Do you see my error, right? Is I didn't maintain my heading on my landing. See, notice I'm cockeyed off to the left.
Yeah.
So as you drop below translational lift, as you start to slow down on that final approach when you start to flare, you lose lift, and so you need to add power. Because I added power, I started turning right, so I had to overcompensate with left pedal, which is why I'm sitting here off to one side.
Right.
So my weakness is actually my controlling of the pedals. Even though I've got real pedals to play with, it's just like I'm a bit slow on the uptake. I need to be a bit better. You can do better than that, mate. Perfect line between us.
I didn't want to. Like, my
Yeah, I'll
friends
make it
were
easier
going
for you.
low.
I'm just going to straighten up.
My friends were going low, and I was afraid of hitting LB at that point, so I was like,
Straightened up now.
Okay. Let's see. Yep. Me shaking my head with the rock of the helicopter is probably not the best thing, though.
No. Just pick a hover target, because just what you're doing is you're hovering. Pick something that's sitting still and use it as your hover target. Try and keep it in the same spot in your windscreen.
Thank you.
But that is actually, yeah, perfect in the middle. Good work. Alright, so.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to get light on the skids. And one is lifting.
20 minutes fuel.
That's alright. We'll refuel. We'll go back to base and refuel. Do one more landing first, though.
Two.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I'm going slow anyway. I'm taking my time. I'm nowhere near 60, but my ultimate goal is to get to 60, but I'm just taking it real slow. So I say my goal is 60 knots, but obviously it won't always be 60 knots, it'll be plus or minus a bit, so obviously use your eyes. Like, this is where you're going to use your best judgment. I'm also climbing, 1,000 feet per minute climb.
Okay.
And I'm just about at 60 knots, I'm just under about 50 knots.
I'm not going fast enough. Sorry, Albie. There we go.
Recover.
And now I'm at 60 knots, so I'm just going to keep climbing at 1,000 feet per minute, but maintain 60 knots.
Gotcha. I'm at 60 knots.
You might want to speed up slightly more than 60 to catch up with me.
About 2,000
Yep.
climb rate to get above you all.
No, don't go all. Your focus in life is just the guy in front of you, Aaron.
Okay.
So don't think of it like the whole formation. You just focus on the guy in front of you in terms of spacing and height and speed. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Alright, let me know what you form.
Stand by. Is your ascent rate still 1,000?
Yep. I'm just not quite 60, but I'm getting there. About there now. And 1,000 ascent rate.
Copy that.
So remember, you're going to be above me.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
I'm going to level out. So maintaining 60 knots and leveling out.
Oh dear. Well, I'm about to shoot above you then.
That's alright. You're aiming to get above me anyway. Alright, I'm straight level, 60 knots.
Straight level.
Mostly anyway. Plus or minus a little bit.
Alright, let's see how close I can pull this formation.
Alright, I'm going to reset the formation, reset the timer. You guys let me know once you're set. I'm going to start the timer so you can hold it for a minute. In reality, you need to be able to hold it for an entire op. You're going to fly an entire LZ. You could be 20 nautical miles away. You're going to hold this formation. So we'll leave it at a minute for now. Let's practice. So you let me know once you guys are set.
Okay.
I'm set back, I think.
Yep.
Aaron to get behind. Don't shoot.
Who's overshooting?
I am slightly slow. Apologies.
Oh, I'm right above you now. Oops.
That's alright, you just slow down. Maintain straight level and just slow down and then you'll drop behind me. So if you can get back in that formation, let me know when you're set, all two of you anyway, and I'll start the timer.
Alright, and I'm right behind you again, pulling back speed. I'm at 60, I need to drop a bit.
Yep, I'm 60, trying my best to maintain strength level. There's a slight climb, but it's, you know.
Oh, slight climb is fine, I'm way above you right now.
It's right.
Okay,
See if you can close.
I was so close to pulling that formation nice and close, and then just...
Yeah. So that was me slowing down though. See, I dropped below 60, and you just need to preempt that as well. So if you see me tilt up slightly, expect me to slow down.
Yeah,
If you watch the body of my helicopter, you'll see the movement before, because there's a bit of a delay before when the helicopter moves before the action takes effect. So when you see me tilt up, there's a half-second delay before I actually start slowing down. So if you just watch what I'm doing, you'll be able to preemptively act before anything happens. So if you see me tilt up, you also tilt up, and then you'll maintain the speed.
Gotcha.
So straight level 60 knots. I'm just sort of casually erring left a bit.
Come on.
Left is actually what I'm doing, but anyway.
It's like you're drifting right then.
No, I'm drifting left.
Are you sure you're not staring at me by mistake?
Albie, you're going to be above Aaron.
Well, I'm trying, but he's all up and down all over the place.
I know. Okay, I'm never mind. though, going down
That's
again.
why I probably should just kind of keep it a level on right on you
So
and then
I
let
guess
him rejoin.
in this case, the only thing you should really worry about is your speed. But really, straight and level, you shouldn't have to worry about. What you're actually doing is looking at me and just staying, there's an imaginary position slightly behind and above me. That's where you should be. So don't worry about straight and level. Just look at me. It's only the lead guy that has to stress out about straight and level.
But like my esteemed number 3 has pointed out, I'm all over the place right now.
Come on, you're almost there. You're actually in a pretty good spot there. So just Albie just needs to get up and behind you, then you're good.
No, it's too far. Let's close up formation. Also, I'm really regretting not having found that governor switch. The governor, what's it called again?
It literally is only really important for the guy who's lead, who's trying his best to hold the numbers perfectly still. The other guys, it's purely visual.
Okay. I'm way too high than you.
Once you're in formation, we'll start a landing somewhere.
Oh,
Drop
shit.
collective, drop collective. Oh, he's above you.
It's because I've slowed down. I'm at 55 and I'm going back up to 60.
Why do you keep doing that just as I'm going overhead of you?
Alright, it's off to
be-
your left, Aaron.
You should be in visual.
I know, I should always be in visual, I know.
So just lift your nose slightly and you'll slow. That's all you gotta do.
But I also increase altitude at that point.
Yeah, so you drop your collective slightly as well. It's a coordinated move.
Oh shit, there you are, hello.
That's what I'm telling you. There's only a slight movement that you need. We're looking pretty good, actually. I'll start the timer now. Just aim to be slightly higher, Aaron, and then we're good. And just
Yep, I'm
focus
getting
on...
there.
Remember, my speed will change and fluctuate, so you need to be preemptively react to it, but don't freak out and jerk your controls. It's just slow, controlled movements. I'm at 60 straight and level now. I'm just doing a slight right turn,
Yeah, I can see that.
and we're going to land on that pinnacle.
Gotcha.
Remember, your goal is to get into a hover above the pinnacle. Your goal is not to land. You can worry about landing after you're in a
Oh,
hover.
you're pulling up too high, you're pulling up too high.
I'm trying to drop speed, but of course, my collective, my collective compensation wasn't enough.
So remember, guys, when landing, you're aiming to get into a hover above the LZ. Landing comes later.
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to start a slight descent. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Yep.
Oh,
Alright.
I'm so high.
Maintaining 60
I've
knots.
lost you, I'm falling out a bit.
Descending at 1,000 feet per minute. Maintaining 60 knots.
Speed. So I see you again, Aaron, then I'll come back in.
Oh fuck, I'm just trying to drop to stay with bang right now. I dropped too late again, which means I'm gonna overshoot the landing if I don't compensate enough.
Let's see where you went, man.
That's alright, we're all going to overshoot, so we're just going to go past it and turn around and land. We're just doing like a J hook to the right.
Yeah, I see you now.
So negative 1,000, 60 knots.
Yep.
Dropped a bit lower, just so wait till you guys drop down.
I'm skimming the left side of the clearing.
Still 60.
Still 60.
Alright,
Negative 1,000.
speeding up to 70. Catch back up.
There we go.
That's the stuff.
I managed to catch back up in terms of the altitude.
Alright. I'm going to turn right and do 180 degrees. Not violently, but just not slowly either. So, turning right. Do 180 degree turn. Maintain that descent through the turn. And I'm slowing down as well. I'm at 40 knots now.
Damn it, I missed that.
And now I'm starting my flare. I'm on finals now.
Okay.
And I'm very slow now, pretty much in a hover. Approaching this ridge line.
And I'm about to crash into the trees unless I do something. Oop.
Build airspeed if you're gonna VRS.
Yep.
Where are you?
Sorry.
That's all good.
This is why the
Oh, you're very low. You're very low.
Alright, it's a slope landing, so don't go tail into the hill or you're gonna damage your tail. I'm landing side on.
and
also land.
On the side of the hill. Okay.
Slope landing. Alright, I'm down. Controls neutralized.
Get onto the other side.
You can do whatever side you want. It's quite steep over here.
Okay.
This is the LZ, just, you know, slope landing is you just gotta take it really slow, come into a perfect hover, lower down slowly, and then as your first skid hits the ground, your body is gonna roll.
You're like on the behind you, Chang. It's like a lot of steeper.
Yeah, so don't land there.
So what I have to do beside you.
That's fine.
So put it down over here.
That's it. Remember, your body is going to roll, so you need to push your cyclic away from the roll. So your body will roll downhill, and you push your stick uphill.
Yeah, okay.
But you got to just do a little bit, like not too much, don't overcompensate.
Good idea. Yep.
That's right, and you don't want to be sliding, so nice and slow.
Down.
If you
Tail
slide,
back.
your tail looks alright. You're gonna be really careful. You don't want any movement at all. Very slow.
Just when I hit the skids, the tail flew backwards.
Yeah, so you don't want, look after your tail rotor. That's why you never land nose downhill because you'll damage the tail rotor for sure.
Alright, down a little bit.
I'd go pedal left a little bit more, Aaron. Your tail's quite close to the.
Also go forward a bit.
Go forward a bit. You're on a very steep section of hill.
Okay.
That's right. Don't panic. Just go slow.
Tell you when to put down. I've got a good view of you.
So
Okay,
just
cool.
between me and Albie perfectly, and this should be alright.
Oh, I see what the hell you're doing.
Keep going
Go
forward.
slow.
Yeah.
Tail,
Forward.
watch your tail. Yeah, watch your tail. See, the issue here now is your brain is trying to keep yourself level with the hill. Don't do that.
Actually,
'cause
my
you-
frames dropped about half
okay.
during that.
Yep.
Because of
If
all
you
the clouds
if you're
that
level
came
with the hill, you're gonna fly away because the hill is not straight. You need to be
Yep,
level with
yep.
the horizon.
Nope.
Nope.
Shit.
Rolling. Just abort and add power and pull out of it if you need to abort. Don't let the helicopter. You just made that, but don't let the helicopter slide on the ground because that's how you bust a rotor or a tail rotor or you roll over.
Oh,
So
I've
you-
done that so many times before, I know.
Yeah, I know. So in the future, if you hit the ground and you're still moving, just abort and pull up and away. That's alright. We're all on the ground. We haven't broken. So now, does someone else want to lead the formation? We're going to go back and get a
Sure.
refuel. Yep.
What heading?
Albie, I'm going to pedal turn on the spot. We're going to turn around. I'll be at the rear of the formation. So I'm going to turn on the spot. Give me a second. Aaron, you should do the same.
It's the heading of the base.
I'll be where exactly are you?
Is turn right.
He's to my 5.
Whoa.
Woohoo.
Yep. My there was a bit of DCS going on there. I don't know what it was, but it launched me in the air.
Did that to me before on the pad even.
Yep, so just maybe get into a hover and then turn. Don't drag on the ground because DCS happened for me just then. So when you take off, it's the opposite of your landing. You roll into the hill with your cyclic. Yep, that was good.
Oh,
You still-
Drop.
Go forward. Go forward. Oh, you're missing out.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm getting out of here.
Okay, there we go.
Come into a hover and just pedal turn on the spot. Just remain in a hover though. You're flying away. Don't fly away.
I'm trying not to.
Yeah, I rolled a bit then, but
Back up. Go back uphill, Albie.
Go
Go back to where you were before, which is in front of me.
I'm getting there.
No, not Albie. Aaron is what I meant.
I know.
Just get in front of me, Aaron.
I'm
Go
trying.
slow. You got a lot of violent movements with your nose. Just very slow and controlled.
Okay.
You
Now,
see,
the reason I didn't pick up fast enough was because I didn't want to overcompensate the collective, but of course, there you go.
just hold there, Albie. I'm getting to a hover as well. We'll wait for Aaron to get between us.
Ooh.
Alright, I'm in a hover. Just get between me and Albie.
I'm
And
trying.
face the same heading as well once you're there.
Okay, this should be
That's pretty good.
about there.
Alright, when you're ready, Albie, it's a steep takeoff
Ah,
up and over these
So
trees.
is this heading?
Up and over the trees, steep takeoffs. It's just straight up and then you lean forward.
Straight up.
1's lifting.
2.
Get to 60.
Yep.
Let's keep it at 1,000.
Now this is the trick now. You have to maintain a perfect 60 and then flat and level. Which is a bit of work.
How high do you want me?
Whatever you want, mate, you're the flight lead.
Okay, I know, keep it. Got this. Wait, stand by, stand by. No, keep it. Try and keep it level about this height. Cycling down. Speed down.
Are you leveling out there or?
Okay, 60 knots.
Just leveling out there. So you now,
Leveled
Aaron,
out.
you get information with him and I'll get information with you.
Yep.
Don't feel like I'm moving at all.
That's alright.
That's me, you are.
Aaron, you're ballooning up.
Yeah. I'm aware. I've arrested my ascent. And now descent. Still shaking like a motherfucker, but I'm sort of.
I'm forming up behind you, Aaron.
Yep, I'm gonna see if I can close this distance.
Yep, no sudden jerky movements. That's probably why you balloon up into the air so much, is because you just... If you're cycling back to slow down, remember to lower your collective proportionately, otherwise you're going to balloon.
Yep.
You're sinking, so you just raise your collective very slowly, like a tiniest amount, and you just have a ever so slight climb rate. You don't want to balloon up. Nothing jerky in a helicopter. So I'm up and behind Aaron, but he's below you, Albie, so I'll just move with him. So I've just put you in a section of my windscreen, Aaron, and I'm just aiming to keep you there in the same spot on the windscreen, like you're a sticker.
Yep.
That's my goal, and you should do the same with Albie. You don't even look at dials, don't look at speed, don't look at sync rates and stuff. Albie's the only one that has to do it.
The dials give you an idea of how fast you're going up and down before you do the action, don't you? Oh,
No, they're actually delayed. The vertical speed indicator is actually like a half-second, 2-second delay behind reality.
Oh, that's useful.
So don't use that for formation keeping. Use your eyes. 99% of flying helicopters is visual. So you're level with him, just slightly higher, then you're good.
Right, step it up to 80.
Do whatever you want, you're the flight lead.
Stepping up 80. And try and keep this height though.
Yep.
The 80, you said?
80, correct.
So now, in reality, they flew sometimes tight formation, 8 feet, or one rotor disc apart. Or 8 feet apart, which is very close. Or other times, they'd increase trail formation to 1 minute spacing or 30-second spacing, which means you just space out so that you pass an object 1 minute after the guy in front of you does. And so that way, when you're all coming into land, you trickle into the landing zone, you land, you drop your troops off, you take off. You've got a minute to do so before the next guy comes. Do you know what I mean? So I would say where we are now at approximately 60 knots and the spacing that we've got, I'd say this is about a 10-second spacing. Like when the guy in front of you starts to land, you've got about 10 seconds to get out of the way before the guy behind you hits you. So we can try slowly increasing the spacing to 60 seconds, which is actually a lot of time. We'll say 30 seconds.
Okay, so
Straight
we'll do
this
that.
maybe.
So I'm just spacing out behind you. You're still below Albie.
Yeah, I just realized. Well, I didn't just realize, but I've been trying to push it up very slightly. I just keep dropping.
Yep. So just increase the spacing to about 30 seconds. Albie doesn't have to do anything. It's just us behind him. We just space out. So I'm spacing right back so that when Aaron goes in to land, I know I've got 30 seconds before when I land, he'll get out of the way.
Okay, so I'm just dropping speed a little bit.
So I'm at
Very
about
smart.
approximately 30 second spacing from Aaron now. And Aaron's just going to do the same to Albie.
Heading out towards the fog, but fog gone.
No, we're not. We're not. So if you want to make a not 90-degree turn, it's more like a 120-degree turn to the left. So it's more than 90 degrees to the left. That's where the fob is.
Okay, let's try it.
Because you need fuel, right? So fuel burning. much so.
Get ready to turn. Shit, yeah, I just remember about that.
Oh shit.
Okay, take it to the left. About what? This
That's
way.
right. Because we're now spaced out, we've got a lot more like margin for error.
Try keep
But
it
Aaron,
80.
you're still too low. Nose up. And yep, nose up. Gain altitude. And then as you start to lose speed, you need to compensate with increased collective. But the cyclic happens first, collective happens second.
Ah.
So if you're too low, nose
it.
up. And then if you start slowing down, then you fix that later. But if you want to fix your altitude or you fix your speed, cyclic happens first.
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to wait my 30 seconds and then do my left turn as well. 30 seconds spacing, remember?
Yep.
Wait, oh
I'm trying
shit,
that.
I did a 180.
I'm trying not to cut the corner.
That's it.
I'm heading back the other way, sorry.
Just turn right 45 degrees, Albie, and turning left.
Sorry. Going a bit too much height. Bring it back down.
You want to go
Down
bearing
there.
about, yeah, 210, maybe 230. That's about where we'll go. Alright, Aaron, you are still too low. Cycle it
Yep.
back. Just pull your cycle back for me. Keep pulling it until you climb up above Albie. If you start slowing down, you need to add collective, but you just pull that cyclic back and climb.
Whoa.
Alright, good. You're climbing a little bit more, and then you'll be above Albie. Perfect. Now match speeds with him and hold that altitude. Stop climbing. And you're
Okay.
too close to Albie, but we'll close the formation anyway, so we'll bring it down
It's
to.
almost like a speck, but
Actually, maybe you're
Bring
right.
it back to 60.
Yeah, do that so we can catch up. So we're going to tighten the formation back to standard distance now, 1 rotor distance. So just to make it very gradual. Don't like race up to him at like 100 knots. Just gradually race up to him. You know,
Alright.
or gradually.
Okay, back to the 60.
Oh shit. I'm at 85 instead. Let's slow that down.
I got the fob in sight.
Just hold that heading. The fob, by the way, is the altitude is like 2,500 feet, which is what we're kind of at now. So we're only just
That's
level
low.
with the fob. So you may want to
Gain a bit of height soon.
do a bit of a climb. And then you can lead us in for a landing on the fob, Albie. We're going to land the same way that we took off, only the order's different. So I'll be at the back, and Albie, you'll be the first one. But it'll be first helipad, middle of the helipads, and then the rear helipad, yeah?
What's the first helipad though? Is that the front left?
Yes. So you're going to swing back behind it and come back and land facing north. As exactly the same as we took off. We're just in a different order now.
Okay. On the actual pad.
Yep. You will be on the actual pad. Aaron will be between them, and I'll be on the rear pad. Aaron, that's a good height and good speed. That's good. See if you can
Left,
close the gap.
level, and 60.
No, it's good though. Where you are is good. So now see if you can close the gap slightly. I'm just behind, I'm at the same distance behind you as you are with Albie. If you close the gap, I'll close it with you. We'll get it a bit tighter than this.
Albie's in between my cockpit now. Damn it.
Yep. So,
Now he's pulling away from me. Okay, just...
yep. So he shouldn't be in the bottom bubble where the pedals are in the windscreen glass. He should be in the main windscreen glass, but just near the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I'm closing with you, Aaron. So see if you can close the Albie and climb up slightly. Pull back on your stick, buddy.
Got it. Whoa.
Not too much. Gradual. Everything's gradual.
Trying to get used to controlling the altitude with my cyclic as opposed to collective. That's
Yes.
messed up.
Yep. Cyclic is like your primary response to anything, and the collective comes second.
Because
Alright,
it's so sensitive.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm up and behind you, Aaron. So, and I'm nice and close. I'm probably 2 rotor distance from you. I'm going to close that distance right down. I want you to get right up on Albie. Same thing.
Yep. Getting closer.
Very good. That's right.
60.
Holding.
You've ballooned, so just relax.
Fine.
You're ballooning. That's alright. Cyclic forward, but just do it very gradually. That's all. You don't want anything crazy. I'm still up and behind you. That's alright. I'm within one rotor distance of you now. So no drastic movements, because remember you got a guy behind you as well. If you do anything crazy, then your tail rotor hits my main rotor.
Oh! Ah! The pressure.
Yeah, but it's just like that's how it is. It's just nice, slow, gradual movements. All your flying should be like that. Not even when you're not in formation, when you're on your own, that should be standard.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
I think I'm out of fuel. What am I rotating?
I've taught you how to rotate, mate.
What am I rotating? 60, 60, 60, maintain 60.
Cycling back, remember?
I'm trying cycling back. Oh, oh, hang on.
Hang on. I'm going down low to see how he's going.
That's my fuel gauge. I think I'm out of fuel.
Yeah, your engines are flaming out, it looks like. I'm dropping down to help him out.
Oh my gosh, trees around me, god damn it.
Oh.
I can't end well.
He's going in. Remember to flare just like normal?
Get in, guys.
Flare just like normal, buddy. Stop your speed. Arrest your speed before you go through the trees. Arrest your speed, 0, 0, 0. That's it. Perfect. Now straight down and cushion before you hit the ground.
Oh, it's heavy. Oh, it's just a bit heavy. I tried to go straight down to vertical between the trees, but...
And IV arrest.
Oh!
Ah, no.
Wait, does that actually...
Oh, we were so close.
You could go into?
We were so
I actually
close.
got fuel. I'm on the last thing of fuel.
I saved it. I'm good.
Oh, nice.
Alright, let's get out of here. Let's get back to base. The base is just up there. I'm close to out of fuel as well myself.
Yeah, I can see the base. It's within view. I'm like...
Yeah.
Don't die on me yet.
Yeah, actually, I forgot that he was low on fuel.
You're just enjoying yourself so much.
That's right. That's right. Your auto rotation was pretty good, Albie. Now you gotta learn, make it muscle memory. So the second you lose your engine, you can that's just what you do.
I knocked something as I grabbed the throttle, and hopefully I didn't press the cutout as well. Like the thing that starts it that you hold down, would that cut it when you press it again? Like I forget what you call
The starter
That's
button.
the starter button. That's not going to cut it, is it?
Let's find out. I'll press it right now. No.
Okay, so I must just be fuel. Didn't see my train on.
Yeah. Fuel gauge is up left of your radar altimeter. It's the top little circle gauge, fuel quantity.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay, I'm here almost.
Nice and relaxed landing, Aaron.
You already know that's very difficult for me.
Oh, yes, the practice is for. That's what we're here for.
I know. I'm just saying, stay away from me.
Are you?
I just saved that. I VRS'd as I was gonna go down and have a look at Albie. I VRS'd down, straight down into the trees, and I used my tail rotor to blow me out of it. I was just lucky that there was no tree, because I blew sideways. I was just lucky there was no tree there.
Oh, nice.
And I saved it.
Coming in there.
In real life, that actually happened to me. Exactly the same situation. I was really low over the trees, and I almost VRS'd into the trees, like I felt it starting to happen.
What, in real life?
Yeah, in real life, yeah, and I used my tail rotor to get me out of it.
Fuck. What a rush.
It scared the shit out of me. I've never done anything that risky again since.
Why have I just dropped speed? That doesn't
Bit of
make
height,
sense.
bit of height, bit of height.
I know, I know.
There we go. It's me right in front of you.
But I'm about to pull back to drop my speed, so I don't want too much height.
So, Albie, with that in hindsight, right? You ran out of fuel, but it was basically a random event. Like your engine randomly stopped, but you didn't expect it to happen. So what that means is, and you had nowhere to go. There was nothing but jungle below you, right? There was nowhere to auto-rotate into that was safe. So what that means basically is that you're flying, even when everything's fine and your fuel tank's full and stuff, you always fly assuming your engine will die any minute. So instead of flying out over open jungle, you would fly towards like clearings at a time, that kind of thing. You're always looking for places. If my engine died right now, where would I auto into? That sort of thing. And if you just always keep that mentality, it dictates how you fly. And you do things like you always land into wind, for example. You always fly over clearings, etc., etc. You never go low and slow. You're always either going fast if you have to be low, or you're really high. It just dictates everything about your behavior in a helicopter because you just like, otherwise you're going to die. But for example, right now I'm landing nose into wind. Aaron looks like he did it as well, which is good. The wind is coming from the west.
That wasn't even on purpose. I can't see where the wind is from.
There's a windsock over there. Anyway, I'm just landing at this helipad. I'm going to have some fuel. I'm pretty empty myself.
Where's the wind zone?
Off your nose.
Oh, I see it. Oh god, it's almost merged with the bloody land.
I'm asking for fuel. Give me some fuel. Thank you, buddy. 40%. You never ask for more than you need, otherwise it makes you way too heavy. You guys know now like how limited our power is. You never want to be too heavy.
Oh yeah.
So I'm on 40%, which is a good like hour's worth of flying with reserve.
Really?
Yep. I'll have to find the burn rate for the Huey one of these days, but I know for the R22 it's 32 litres per hour. So if I'm 60 litres, I've got 2 hours worth of flying left. Whereas this thing, it's like I don't actually know what the burn rate is.
I'm pretty sure it's more than the modern aircraft. Helicopters.
Alright, I'm refueled. Aaron, you want to try leading formation this time?
Okay.
Do the pad switcheroonies.
Well, I'm sort of being refueled.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so the direction that Aaron's facing now, if you just turn left maybe 30 degrees, Aaron, that's the direction of the wind towards those mountains. So if you're the lead element, I'll hop in the middle, I'll be the middle element. If Albie, you want to get in the back?
So we're going to be flying into the wind, right?
Yep. Because, yeah, that's the other thing I'm going to tell you right now, is that if you always know the direction of the wind, so you look at smoke, you look at trees, you look at water, you look at flags, always land and take off into the wind. It'll help you with VRS.
Okay.
It's fine.
So, see the direction that me and Albie are facing now, that's into the wind. So when you're ready to take off, you just turn left slightly, you just match us. Let us know. Let us know when you're prepping to lift, and then when you actually lift. So prepping to lift is just where you just get light on the skids.
Okay, but I'd have to turn around first. I mean, let me adjust my orientation first.
I need to buy a collective. It's just decided.
What's up?
I need to buy a collective. Slide throttles is not doing it for me.
Collectives are so good.
Yeah.
You learn the real muscle memory of the real thing.
I've got it where the slide throttle, I've reversed it so that I need to pull it backwards, so it's almost like a collective. But it's not quite the same thing at all.
I'd recommend not buying the one that I bought because it's mostly plastic and stuff. I'd buy there's like an R22 one, and it looks very simple. It's quite literally just a pole, but it's because it's made of metal, it's probably much better feeling than this one is. A lot less sticky.
How much are they?
Quite a bit.
There we go.
I'll have to link you later. Alright, so let us know when to go. So go left slightly another 15 degrees.
Right, yeah.
Then
I
you'll
see
actually be...
it.
Yep, and then you'll actually be into the wind. Take us between that saddle. See the saddle in the mountains?
Oh, yes.
Alright, let us know when you lighten the skids and then when you're lifting.
Okay. Prep to take off.
Ripping.
Oopsie. That was way too light. Oh well. And one is chasing himself away. Bye!
How about you taxi back into position and then off you go.
Ah!
I'm just holding right behind you, Matt.
That's probably a bad idea right now.
Just taxi forward, get where you were before.
And right. Just decides to land by itself. Okay, cool. Yep, sure. Whatever you want, Louis.
Remember to call when you're lifting.
Oh, prepping lift, whatever it was called again. What was it called again?
Oh, it's just a prepare to lift, I guess. It's just that's what he's saying. It's just everyone knows to get light on the skids.
Okay, light on the skids. Oh, for a sec. And one lifting.
2 lifting.
And gonna go up to 60 knots.
You lift
Okay.
it.
And oh shit, I was going into the red there.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going into the red.
active. Active.
Okay, up to 1000 D ascent. Passing 20 knot mark. Passing 40 knot mark. And at 60.
Yep. I'm up and behind you. I'm just going to close the gap slowly.
Continuing ascent, remaining at 60. And gonna bear about 5 degrees right for the saddle.
Sure. Up and behind you.
I think I was right.
G'day. I'm going to try and close this distance. Get it down to under a rotor disc.
Jesus.
So as the lead pilot, it's even more important that you're very steady and calm with your changes and controls. This is good practice for you. Because any jerk that you make means that I got to jerk a bit and I'll overcompensate, and then the guy behind me jerks a bit and he'll overcompensate a bit more, and then ends up being a big whip crack, and so everyone it just throws the whole formation out. So as the lead, you need to be steady.
Yeah. What the hell was that? My helicopter just jerked backwards.
That's right. I'm up and behind you, and my rotor disc is over the top of your tail rotor.
Yay. I think we got wind coming from the left.
Yep.
Same as wind
That
so
jerk
far.
was actually probably the wind, picking up all of a sudden, because we've just crested the hill, which is pretty realistic of DCS. I'm kind of
Yeah.
impressed if that's the case,
I am impressed as well.
because in real life it does that as well.
Yes, I know that. We are going 17 knots now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I saw that.
So I'm flying visual. I'm not even looking at my dials. I'm just looking at you. All right. So now if you left maybe 10 degrees, there's an LZ down there, and you're going to lead us in on it.
But the one on the peak? Or you
Nope,
mean the LZ?
not on the peak. You'll be marked with smoke.
What? Okay.
It's just
Okay,
nice and
so
slow. We're going to
let's see
overfly it first. Just so we're not descending. We're just going to overfly it and get a visual on where it is, and then you're going to show us the best approach in.
Okay, I was just saying arresting the ascent.
Okay. Yep. I'm still above and behind you.
Big change in speed back there.
And there goes another kick from the wind. Alright, so just gonna bring our speed back down to the 60 as it was supposed to be.
Yep. I believe the LZ is at 90 degrees to our left. You can start a lazy turn left and you can have a look, see where it is.
Alright. As soon as I stop increasing. Alright, flight check left.
Yep.
I've forgotten how much easier it is to fly fixed wing.
Yeah, well, it's real flying.
Someone said to me once, helicopters are not designed to fly, they're designed to crash.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Airplanes have to steal lift from nature, whereas helicopters make their own lift.
Fuck, I like that, I'll use that.
He's up on the jerky movements. Alright, I might actually have the wrong valley. It might be the next valley across to the right, but that's okay.
Okay. Flight tipping it, rolling out.
Yep. I'm just looking for smoke, you should see it.
Okay, gonna be doing a check routes.
Yep. Still above and behind, yep. We're in a pretty much perfect formation right now, it looks good.
I really
Look
wish
at
I could see this, but I'm worried that if I try and look, I will
Yeah.
crash.
So don't look. You can see the recording later from Albie.
Oh yeah, true. Oh fuck, I have to hear my voice though.
We're doing good.
Okay, rolling up. Something just happened in terms of DCS, not so much the flight level.
So, I'm right over your tail rotor.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the speed back down to 60.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was here. Oh well.
Make our own, LV.
Yep, that's right. You can pick one.
Okay.
So I'd recommend a nice big clearing, preferably not a pinnacle if you don't want a challenge.
If I didn't want a challenge, I wouldn't be flying a helicopter.
Up to you, mate. Your flight lead.
About the
Make
one
the
off to our left o'clock now. Or 9 o'clock now.
9 o'clock, you see smoke or what?
pick. No smoke, just you pick an LZ and lead us in, flight lead.
Oh, I see, okay. Take left.
Yep.
Don't know why. it
Now
didn't
you're going to do a
turn
very
strong.
slow, gradual landing. So it's very slow, gradual descent rate, and very slow, gradual slowing down in speed as well. Because remember, you've got
Okay.
everyone else behind you. You do any jerky stuff, they're going to crash into you. I'm
Yeah.
within one rotor disc of you, so you just nice and gradual, nice and slow.
Okay, bringing the altitude.
I'm going to try my best to land in trail behind you as well.
Oh dear. Okay, this fuck, and I can't do my usual shit magogs. We're gonna be landing on the clearing to the right of the port
Copy.
deal, and we're going descending 5,000. Oh, gonna
That's
have
right.
to increase that, descending to 1,000.
Yep,
Why did I
no
say
worries.
5,000 before? It was 500. Whatever.
That's right. The only caveat is when you get below like 30 knots that you curb your descent rate, but that's it. You can descend fast while you're moving fast.
Yeah. No problem with that. I'm moving a lot faster than I should be.
Just relax, I'm going to increase my spacing with you, so you got a bit of gap between us now, but just nice and easy landing.
Okay, we might be overshooting the landing just a little bit.
That's alright, looks good to me.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Start your flare,
Flaring.
slow down, remember your speed needs to be 0 before you touch the ground.
Speed 0.
Yeah.
Pulling collective.
Get into a hover, and then land.
Oh.
And it's a slope landing.
Oh.
You might want to land nose uphill, it might make your life a lot easier for you.
Oh, yep. I'm trying.
I'm on the deck behind you.
And. Whoop. Nope. 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 Stop running away.
Jesus, Jesus.
Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it.
When you land, you gotta go
Okay.
cycling forward quite a bit to not roll backwards.
Look how much I moved.
That's right. Nice and slow, Albie. Just like landing with your skid uphill, the front of your skids touch first, and then you lower down slowly, so you don't flick back and your tail doesn't whip crack the ground. Easy, easy, easy.
Oh, I did it.
Okay, that's called main rotor separation, and that happens when you go full cyclic one direction and then full cyclic the other direction. It snaps it off.
No, you just. Oh, what's it called again?
So that's my tower, not my tower, my main rotor.
No, it's mass bumping. It's
That's
when,
the one. That's the one.
yeah, so it looks like you went full one way and then full the other way. You literally only have to go forward, back as far as it goes, like to the full extent, and you'll snap the main rotor off. That's all you got to do.
Pulling back on the stick, I don't know what I did.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It could
No,
also be left,
but-
right, or whatever. Just any jerky movement at all. Like if you jerk it, it snaps up.
Damn it! You know you can exit the helicopter though, right? But can you get better? Can you get into it on the helicopter? That's good.
No, you can't.
Damn.
Alright, well,
DCS.
Albie's going to get a new bird. Let's head back to the base. I'm going to teach you auto rotations.
Okay.
So taking off with your nose up the hill is the reverse of landing. So you just push your stick forward so it's level with the horizon, and then slowly raise collective. And then at the body of the helicopter, don't freak out. It'll roll into the hill until you're level, like this, and then you just go straight up from the hill like that.
Okay.
So you
Amen.
push your stick forward so that it's level with the horizon. Raise collective slowly, and the body of the helicopter will, because it's not level right now, it'll roll into the hill until it's level. And at that point, you're in a hover. You just lift straight up off the ground. So for you, your stick should be front right slightly because that's uphill.
Slightly. I'm doing half my left. Right, I mean, half my right.
Yeah, not too
here we
much. And don't forget your pedals. You're sliding. See, you got to prevent that sliding by you're not leaning enough into the hill. Otherwise, you wouldn't
Enough?
slide. Yeah, you're not
Fuck,
leaning
I'm almost
enough.
at the bloody extent of the thing.
Yeah, that's because you're down to like 85 or whatever you set it to. But yeah, so you shouldn't have any sliding at all. You should just be like lift straight up off the ground.
Alright, I see what you mean.
Yep. And then lift straight up. Now that you're level with the horizon, I can see that you're level. You lift straight up now. You're leaning You're leaning too far into the hill.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Trent.
So once the body is level with the horizon, you just lift straight up.
Every time I do that, it pulls into the hill.
Yeah, because you got to pull your stick away from the hill at that point.
Fuck's sake.
All right, follow me. I'm just
RPM
off
warning.
Yeah, take a real easy.
I just
I'm
have to
actually-
get off the fucking ground.
To do a 180, come back. We're gonna head back towards the base.
Alright.
Follow me. We're gonna gain altitude. I'm just gonna transition on the ground. Use the ground effect.
There you are. Found you.
I'm using the ground effect to get up.
Just surfing the waves of the hills.
Alright, I'm airborne.
I'm right behind. Well, right. Right is a relative term, but I'm behind you.
Yep, our goal is to get some altitude and get to about 80 knots. And I'll show you how to auto rotate. So, I did this to Albie before and he did it just fine, so hopefully my explanation wasn't too confusing, Albie.
No, it's fine.
Albie?
Oh, sorry, wrong button.
Hey,
No, it's fine, all good.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, there's the LZ that was supposed to. You see the smoke?
Oh, I can head to
Oh.
smoke. Head in there now.
Yep, I see it.
Alright, let's actually do a practice landing here. So get trial formation behind me. We're going to go land on that smoke. I've already started the descent.
Okay.
I'm going to descend quite sharply. Just follow the contour of the hill. So I'm descending at like negative 1.5, 1,500. And I'm going to slow down to 60 knots. I'm actually, I'm going to hold 80 knots until I get a bit closer. Just to practice your landings a bit more.
Which do need practice.
Yep.
Big time.
So I'm raising my nose to slow down, but I'm going to maintain the descent rate at negative 1,500 so it'll hold the collective simultaneously. Slowing down to 60, maintaining descent rate. I'm at negative 2,000 now, I'm descending quite a lot, it's quite a steep hill.
Negative
60.
2,000. Yeah, I
Yep,
need
negative 2,000 and at 60 knots.
that. Okay, I'm in auto rotation right now.
It's basically auto rotation is what this is, yep.
Yes, it very much is.
I'm at 40 knots now, I'm slowing right down. Maintaining negative 2,000. I'll flare before I hit the ground. Remember, your goal is not to land, your goal is to get into a hover. I'm arresting my descent rate, I'm at 1,500 negative. And I'm bringing in the power slightly now. I'm going to land on the other side of the river. I'm at negative 1,500 and arresting it. Negative 1,000. Bring in the power in.
We're way overshot it.
Negative 500. Bring in the power in. Slowing down. And I'm in a hover. But next to the river. We're right where I wanted to be. See if you can circle around and land near me.
Uh-oh. Trees, 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 trees. Trees, trees. I thought I stopped, but apparently not.
It's alright, I just did what Albie did. I just main road a separation.
Ah, damn it.
You're kidding me.
So that's because I flopped back because I was landing on a steep hill. And in order to save my tail rotor, I went full cyclic in one direction, and then it broke my rotor off. So,
Maybe what I
Indeed,
did.
a steep hill. Oh, fucking.
so remember, the rest you move before you land, because otherwise, when you hit the
I'm
ground,
not
you'll.
trying to land. That was. I don't know what it was. I was trying to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I got confused because I thought the land was flat. I wasn't looking at the artificial horizon. God damn it. And there. Dan land. Oh. Okay, that's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, you gotta go?
No, I mean, I'm gonna head back to the FID.
Yeah, I'll meet you back there. We'll do some auto rotations now. Pad, Albie?
Yeah, he's heading back.
Yeah, no worries. I'll meet you back at the helipads. Practice one more landing at the helipads, and then we'll do autos. I'm just gonna go say hi to the missus. She just got home. Right back.
I need more practice with this. I'll be used to it.
Yeah, it's judging the height from on the ground too. Sometimes you think you're on the ground, it's still up. It's deceptive when you're flying.
Yeah.
I need to start doing some weight training for my right arm.
Wait.
Like just like holding it forward that whole time. It's like married, man.
That's true. I get tired. Flying.
Just in the one position, like you barely can move it the whole time.
Yeah. Well, in real life, I guess there's a less tension, but still, imagine doing that in real life. For an entire day of flight or something like that. I actually have no idea where the FPV is. I'm just going off my feelings.
We would be to your northeast-ish, maybe.
Okay, well I'm going north right now.
Alright, starting up.
Say north.
Oh dear. Come on, baby, you can make this climb. Climb right over the hill. Come on.
You'll land into wind.
Alright.
Huh?
I mean, Aaron, when he comes into land, you land into wind, so you gotta circle around.
Okay. I still haven't spotted the FOB there.
Got a fair way to go.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Aaron, take a 90 degrees to your left.
I was just looking at that. I was thinking, I'm going too far east here. So I'm supposed to be heading direct north, but
Correct.
oh, I see you. I see you. Oh fuck! Oh right, I am gonna have to turn around.
Alright, Albie, I've taught you auto rotations now for engine failure while hovering. This one's pretty simple in DCS because it's so forgiving, whereas in reality, like, you don't want to bend skids or anything like that. So, you get into a hover, and you can make it quite a high hover as well. You can be like, you know, quite far off the ground. And then you just get nice and stable, and then kill your engine, and then it's not like an auto rotation. You don't drop the collective. You freeze the collective, leave it where it is. You need to go right pedal because all of a sudden you've lost the torque. Because you're holding left pedal to hover, you need to suddenly snap right pedal. And you just drop vertically straight down, and just before you hit the ground, you use the last little bit of collective that you've got. Because remember, your collective is already quite high because you're hovering. So you freeze the collective, you don't lower it. You don't want airspeed or anything, you just drop straight down. That's a bit too high, Albie.
Question is, how do you
Cut you up?
how do you cut the engine?
Throttle down. That's
Oh,
cool.
just that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to hover here. The absolute max you can get away with this, and you're probably bending the skid and fucking like riding off the superstructure is 50 feet. So I'm talking maybe go down to like 20 feet hover.
Okay, so basically it's like what we're doing a little bit lower.
Yep, so this is, if you're just hovering there, then your engine died on you while you're hovering, which to be fair, is actually quite likely because your engine is chugging when you're hovering.
About this height.
Maybe a little lower, so you watch me, I'll do it first. Just stay in the hover. And 3, 2, so actually I'll go a little higher actually. Go about your height, ready? 3, 2, 1, engine failure. So engine's off. I'm not touching the collective, I'm just right pedal and cushion just before hitting the ground. That's what you do. You don't have much cushion because your collective is already so high, but you freeze it, you don't drop it. So just hold there.
So when you get to the ground, you push the collective up.
Yeah, you cushion with whatever you've got left, which is like fuck all.
Alright.
The key here is you should be moving, because if you're moving, you're going to roll
No,
out.
I'm not. I'm just getting away from you.
Yep.
Alright,
So back up and go again.
about here. And about this height.
Yep, whatever.
Alright.
We've got very little
Drop it
margin
down.
for error because we've got such little spare power here. So, and then cushion with what you've got. Perfect. That's how you do it. Engine fail and hover. And then you lower your collective again once you're on the ground. Otherwise, they do this thing called blade sailing in reality where they're going really slow, but they're angled up, and so they actually snap in half, like they both bend up and it breaks the rotor head.
Yeah, because it don't have centripetal force or something.
Yeah, exactly, stretching it out and keeping it flat. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing. So 3, 2, 1, engine failure. Right pedal, and cushion, just before you hit the ground. It's a little bit of a bounce. I think I might have cushioned a bit too early.
Yeah, you didn't touch the ground.
Yep.
Like saying. Why am I going? Oh, is that because I'm going facing into the wind?
No.
Am I facing into the wind now?
No, you're facing away from the wind. It's coming
Away
behind
from
you.
It's coming
then
from behind me. Makes sense.
Alright. Aaron, you can do the same thing. Get into a hover.
Hi.
Can you actually land first? Have you got your throttle mount anywhere that you can easily reach? Or do you just use page up, page down?
No, I put it down.
Okay, good. So, we're going to need that in auto rotations, but you get into a hover. We'll say maybe 15 foot hover. Make sure you're not moving. Yep. Or maybe 20 foot. I'm at 20 foot hover right now. And you throttle off and leave your collective where it is, but go right pedal to stay straight. And just before you hit the ground, pull collective to cushion. Cushion with what you've got, which is not much.
Here we
Call
go.
that down packed.
Yeah, that's it.
Just as I was about to do it, something just pulled me upwards.
Yep. So the key here is you throttle off, you're going to drop like a rock, but because you've suddenly throttled off and you're holding so much left pedal to hover, you need to suddenly snap right pedal, drop straight down and try and stay still relative to the ground and just approach the ground. And then just before you hit the ground, you cushion with whatever collective you've got left, which will be a tiny amount, like it'd be like 5% collective left, of movement, because you're using
here we
so
go.
much just to hover. I would start.
Shit, that's a lot.
That's alright. And then cushion.
Nope.
Nope.
There was nothing for me to cushion. I was already at max.
Yeah, because you're
just
so high,
high.
you don't want to go too high because we don't have too much spare. Because we're already pulling like close to 100% collective just hovering here because we're so high altitude. It's hot and heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna experiment with doing it at 45 feet. This is probably a tall order. I'm probably gonna die. So I'll try 40 feet. Here we go. 3, 2. I'll show my 45. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Engine off. Oh god. Straight down and cushion. There you go. Quite survivable. That was,
That's about perfectly doable. Come on, guys.
I'm getting a bit higher then. About here.
Yep.
Wait, why am I going? Oh,
there you got it. Down pat, mate. Very good.
that was. I went right of them, but I wasn't getting. What it was. I don't know. Why I was still not really pulling left then. When I dropped the throttle. I overcorrected.
Yeah, I don't know.
Throttle fully.
Alright, now here's the next one. Is, let's say your engine failure in the taxi, so you're not hovering, you're actually moving. So we'll go down to the grass over here. And while you're sliding forwards, you lose your engine. So this is why when you taxi, you don't taxi too fast, because if you lose your engine, you haven't got any translational lift. So really, you've got to just hit the ground and you'll be sliding on your skids. So I'm going to go nose downhill. Just here, I'm going to get into other, and I'm just going to go for a very gentle taxi. And then I'm going to kill my engine while it's exactly the same procedure, only this time you're moving. And so the goal is not to go still, and the goal is not to stop. Your goal is to just let it like contact the ground and slide along the ground. So now I don't know how well this is going to work in DCS, because in reality you slide across grass quite easily in direction of travel with skids. But in DCS the ground might be really sticky and I might roll over and die. So we'll find out. Good to go, Abby? So I'm just going to go for a very slight taxi. Just start slow and I'll increase the speed later. So I'm taxiing, engine failure.
Oh,
Nope. Nope, it was very
like
sticky.
you ejected then.
It was very sticky.
Alright, let's try it. Then try it on the nice grass slope over here.
Yeah. Yeah, when my skids touched the ground, it really gripped the ground.
Alright, here we go. Taxi. Taxi, slide taxi. Power down. Oh, yeah, did the same thing as you, I think.
Yeah, DCS is not good at, I don't think that's going to work just because the ground like really grips you, whereas in reality you would slide across that grass. So we won't bother with that one. We'll try some actual auto rotations, how about that? You know how to do those, Albion, you're the expert.
I am.
We can do it.
Start this thing first.
Alright, I'm lifting. Aaron, do you want to come with me? We'll go to an auto
Which one of you is you?
in the rear.
Okay, yeah.
Come with me. I'm going over the top of Albie.
I'll be
So
going
what-
over the top of you.
I'm going to go up nice and high, and what we're going to do, and I did this with Albie before, is we're going to initiate an auto rotation. We're going to like initiate it, so do the corrective action immediately, and then we're going to maintain an auto rotation. So it's not just you move your controls to a certain spot and then you hunky dory. You actually have to sort of maintain it. We're not going to do the last part, which is the flare and landing, which is going to get you to enter and maintain an auto and hold it.
Okay.
So basically, just follow me while I talk through the physics. Whenever you cyclic forwards, you're unloading the disc, so you're taking weight off the disc, and so its rotor RPM slows down. Whenever you pull back on the cyclic, you're actually increasing the loading on the disc because you're slowing down. More air is getting shoved through the rotor disc, and so your rotor RPM goes up, right?
Yep.
So forward, slow, rear, fast. So the second you lose your engine, you need to drop your collective and flatten the blades out because they're going to like slow down because there's no engine keeping them sped up. They'll start decaying in RPM. So you gotta like a 1 or 2 second window to do that. Otherwise, they slow down beyond the point of recovery. They'll slow down to the point where they don't do anything anymore. You lose control. You'll roll over. You die.
Yep.
So as soon as you lose your engine, you need to drop your collective. You need to pull back on the cyclic, like lift your nose up quite substantially and slow down to 60 knots. And in doing that, you're charging RPM back into the system. You're charging RPM back into the rotor disc. So you recover what RPM you lost in like 1 to 2 seconds it took you to realize you've lost your engine. And then also because you're descending and also because you've lost your engine, you no longer have to push left pedal, you have to push right pedal. So the second you lose your engine, it's collective down, cyclic back, right pedal. It's those three all at once. That's how you initiate an auto rotation, right? With the goal of getting to 60 knots. To maintain an auto rotation, you need to maintain 60 knots and you need to keep your rotor RPM in the green. Now, when you drop your collective and pull your cyclic back, initially you want that to happen. Your RPM will recover quite quickly because it'll recover what you lost. But then it'll overshoot the green and start going into the red, and you don't want to over RPM your rotor or it breaks off. So you want to maintain 60 knots, that's done with your cyclic. Cyclic maintains speed, but your RPM for your rotor is actually controlled by your collective. So remember we said that we dropped it initially. That's entering an auto rotation. To maintain an auto rotation, you need to feather the collective. So if you feather it up slightly, you lift it up slightly, it'll slow your RPM down. And if you slow it too much, you just drop it again. So you lift and lower as needed to keep that rotor RPM in the green.
Gotcha.
So 60 knots in the green and a bit of right pedal because you're descending. So we're going to enter and then maintain that auto, but then we're going to throttle up again and get out of the auto rotation, and we'll turn around and do it again, rinse and repeat. And once you've mastered that, then we'll do the last part, which is the flare.
Okay.
So we'll get it. Yep, we'll go to a bit more altitude. So Maddox power, I'm going to climb up a bit higher. Gives you a bit more time.
I'm just off to your 9 o'clock high.
I'm climbing. So the thing about auto rotation is you've got 2 buckets of energy. You've got altitude or you've got speed, one of the two. If both your buckets are empty, because you need one of those buckets to fill up your auto rotation bucket, right?
Yep.
If both buckets are empty, you're fucked. So if you're low, and when I say low, I mean like you're less than 500 feet and you have no speed, you're hovering, you won't survive, you will die. So you can have one of the two or a balance of either, but you can have all altitude and no speed. So you can be in a perfect hover, but as long as you're high enough, if you're 2,000 feet above the ground, you can auto rotate. You've got enough energy up your sleeve in that bucket that you can fill up your auto rotation bucket.
Yeah.
You can be really low to the ground, you can be skimming the treetops, but as long as you're doing 100 knots, your speed bucket is full. Do you know what I mean? So as long as one of your buckets has energy in it, you put that energy into your auto rotation bucket, you're good.
Yeah.
You guys have separated.
Probably. I'm still looking for you, Chang. I lost you when you went.
Aaron's out to the northeast. Check.
Oh yeah. Turn 180 degrees behind, Aaron.
That might be me you're looking at.
No, you're good, alright. Just go turn around. Oh, that might be you, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'm turning back towards.
Right down at you, maybe.
I've lost Aaron. Head towards the base.
I was paying so much attention to his conversation about buckets, I'm sorry.
Alright, who's low?
I'm high, you're high.
Yep, so Aaron is low. Aaron, I should be above you now. And in front of you.
What?
Look in front of you at your canopy and above you, that's where I am.
Towards the base.
He's flying towards the base, I'm flying towards him. I'm up in the sky above you.
Tin.
Yep, so climb up to me.
Damn, you're high.
So, the thing about altitude and speed is you can trade one for the other. So if you're high with no speed, you can trade it for speed. All you got to do is drop your nose, right? You lose altitude, but you gain speed. If you're going fast, but you're low, you can trade that for altitude. All you got to do is raise your nose, and you slow down, but you gain height, right? So you can transfer water between these buckets, that's fine. So, in this auto rotation, we're going to have both full speed and full altitude buckets. So you get more than enough energy. It's quite a safe auto rotation, which is why we're up nice and high. I'm at like 4,500 feet above sea level, and I'm leveling out here, and I'm going to get up to 80 knots, and then we'll have speed and altitude on our side. I see you below me and to my right, so if you just circle left and just keep climbing.
Circle left.
Yep, I'm to your, above you and to your left.
That was too strong of a circle. I'm still gaining height, 4,000 mark.
I didn't realize you were with me, Abby. I was looking for Aaron. So yeah, you're in front of me, Aaron. I'm going to dive down to you because I'm actually kind of excessive, to be honest. You can straight and level out now and aim for 80 knots.
I'm at 4.5.
Yep, I see you. You're in front of me. I'm catching up to you, so you just level out. Now, we don't need a clearing to auto rotate into because we're not actually going to finish the auto rotation. So you need whatever keys you've got set to your throttle. We're going to pretend to auto rotate. It's a simulated auto rotation by throttling off, and then to exit the simulation, you just throttle up again and fly away.
Okay.
Right. So now, tell me if you lost your engine right now, what would you do? How would you initiate an auto?
I would drop collective immediately, pull back on the cyclic, and I would bring up right pedal.
Perfect. And the rear cyclic is actually usually more than you expect because you've dropped collective. Your nose wants to drop, so you actually have to pull the cyclic back to keep it level. But you've got to do more than that. You actually have to lift it above level because you want to slow down to 60 knots.
Yeah.
So now what happens? So that happens within the first second, and then after about a second or two, your rotor RPM is going to recover and then overshoot the green. And then what?
Well, then I'm going to have to bring the collective up and just play with the collective going up a little bit.
Yep.
Just to bring the RPMs into controllable area. And use the cyclic to... I need to keep the speed.
No, that's good. So you're going to maintain speed with your cyclic. So if you're too slow, you lean forward. If you're too fast, you lean back, and you aim to hold 60.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, initiate an auto, and then maintain an auto for me. Count me in 3, 2, 1. Still at about 85.
Okay, I'm about 80 now, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So count me in.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And RPMs are high. And they're back to green. No, now they're yellow.
So if they're too low, then you lower it down, you lower your collective slightly.
Yeah.
Remember, when you drop your nose to gain speed, you're going to lose rotor RPM when you do that.
Yeah. Okay.
When you pull your nose back up to slow down, you're going to gain RPM.
So I'm trying to auto rotate away from these trees into this ground.
It's all good, mate. You're doing pretty good. I'm auto rotating as well. I'm right behind you. I'm basically formation auto rotating with you. I'm right behind you.
What a weird thing to say. I'm crashing in formation.
Good style. So good. So you've entered and you've maintained an auto. Continue to maintain that. See if you can hold those numbers. 60 knots and green. See if you can maintain that. Yep. And we're going to do it all the way to the ground. When we get to about 1,000 feet off the ground, we're going to exit the simulation and go again. And then if you can do that one more time, then we'll try a flare. The actual all the way to the ground.
What about the green? Bad me.
Did you die?
No, I'm just auto rotating to this clearing, but what about me collective?
Keep maintaining that auto, mate. So at this point, because you're nice and high, you'd be looking for somewhere nice to go. You can do a turn if you want to. Now remember, when you turn, you're actually adding loading to the disc. It's similar to you pulling rear in the cyclic. So when you turn, your rotor RPM will go up. So you have to feather a bit more with your collective. But then when you level out, the opposite happens. So when you turn, so try turning. Just do a 90-degree turn to your right while you're auto rotating. Maintain your auto rotation numbers.
Like right?
Yep. So you're looking for somewhere nice to land, and you go, yep, I need to turn right to do so. That's fine. In fact, you might have to do a 180-degree turn. Just keep turning. You can fly as normal, even without an engine. Very good.
Losing a little bit of speed, but yeah, otherwise good.
No, 60 knots. You need that, or you're gonna die. You need that.
I'm at 55.
Yep. So get 60 or above. Really, 60 should be the lower limit.
Okay. Right, gotcha. Increase.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Which,
Now when you're ready, we're gonna throttle up, recover RPM, and then we're gonna fly away.
Slowly or do I can I just...
No, just throttle straight up to 100% and fly away.
No, technically I should... How do I know when I'm under power?
You are just pull collective, and if you pull collective and your RPM doesn't decay, it means you're under power because your engine's keeping your RPM up.
got it.
Okay, well, I've also talked about speed.
That's right. Very good. So you've entered and maintained an auto. Now, do you want to do that one more time, or do you just want to try a landing? The whole thing.
Try that thing.
Alright, cool. So yeah, keep flying the direction you're flying. There's a lot of clearings that way.
There are.
Cool. Now remember, if you overshoot, you can turn around. But basically, once you get to that 1,000 foot, you kind of like run out of options at that point. You shouldn't be maneuvering. You should have it all set up and ready to go. If you hit that 1,000 foot and you still haven't got a clear landing site ready to go, you're kind of fucked.
Kind of.
Yeah, cool. So I'm going to climb up to you, nice and high, and see if you can get to 80 knots.
Up to 80 knots.
Yep. Now, you can auto-rotate when you're slower. You can do 40 knots as well. It just means you're going to speed up, but that's fine. 80 knots is good because it gives you a nice big bucket of energy to use. Now, this auto-rotation knowledge is kind of important because often, and very often, in our NAM ops, people blow their engines, like they overheat them because they don't notice because they're so stressed out from being shot at. So if you blow your engine, you need to know how to auto-rotate. It's plain and simple. Although the horrible thing is, though, most of the time that happens, you blow your engine when you're taking off. And you're neither fast enough nor high enough to auto-rotate. So it's one of those, landing while hovering or landing while taxiing moments. Just hope for the best.
Armor 3, right?
No, I'm talking about this.
Okay. I thought you said armor for some reason.
Have you played any NAM ops with us yet?
Nope.
Okay, you're gonna love them because you get shot at while you're trying to land.
Awesome.
All right, so do just keep flying out the direction you're going actually, and we're gonna turn around and land in the clearing behind you. But you're just gonna stretch out a bit, give yourself a bit of distance first.
I'm gonna land behind me. Because
Yes.
there's the clearings we just missed.
Yep.
Just went over. Yeah.
Now you want to turn 90 degrees right because you'll see that the clearings are actually long, and you kind of want to line up longitudinally with it, so you get all the time in the world. When you land,
But I'm doing the auto rotation.
what's up? No, just turn right now. Don't start the rotation just yet. So eventually you'll get, when you practice enough, you'll be able to auto rotate and you'll be able to pick a landing site and you'll be able to auto rotate like onto a roof of an apartment or something. But for now, we're just going to assume you can't aim, so we're just going to have a nice big LZ.
You're very accurate assumption.
Yep. So if you look back over your right shoulder, you should see a nice long set of clearings. You get all that area in the world.
Yeah.
Cool. So turn 90 degrees right again, and you should line yourself up with that stuff. And then when you're ready, cut your engine. We're going to glide into that clearing. Now, let me explain to you the last part. So enter and maintain an auto rotation as you did before, only this time when you get to 100 feet above the ground, you begin the flare. So you start raising your nose, and you have to raise it quite a lot. And your goal is to get your airspeed to 0. Because you're raising your nose, by the way, you arrest your descent rate. So even though you've got no engine, you're actually gliding parallel to the ground. Do you know what I mean? Like you're trading speed for altitude. So you actually glide parallel to the ground, 100 feet above the ground, and you're pulling your nose back, and you've got to pull it more and more. As you slow down, you've got to actually pull back more to maintain your height above the ground. But you're slowing down. The goal is to get to basically stand still above the dirt. You don't want to be sliding because you've seen what happens when you hit the ground when you're sliding. And then once you stop, you cycle forward, level the ship, and then waft to the ground. And then just before you hit the ground, you cushion with your collective that you've been saving this whole time. Because your rotor RPM is still in the green this whole time. The flare, if anything, adds more rotor RPM to the job.
Yeah.
So then,
The cyclic forward up.
because you're flaring, you're looking up at the sky like 45 degrees. You're flaring quite aggressively.
Oh,
Once
shit. Okay.
once you've stopped, once you look at the ground, and you're not moving anymore. You level the ship out, you level the helicopter out, and you're just going to waft vertically straight down towards the ground. Ultimately, ideally, you don't have any speed. You waft vertically straight down towards the ground, and then just before you hit the ground, you cushion with your collective.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So when you're ready, engine failure. Count me in.
3, 2, 1. Oh.
60 knots. Remember.
Yep.
Remember, when you dive forwards, when you dip your nose, your rotor RPM's going to decay.
Oh yeah, I know.
So,
but
yeah.
I was doing wages there.
Yep. So now you maintain that 60 and that green all the way in. So look for where you're going to go, somewhere that's assured and safe.
Like the entire fucking landscape in front of us.
Or you'll find just the one shrub to hit.
Knowing my luck.
Alright, I'm maintaining that auto. If anything, you want your rotor RPM to be top of the green. So it's still in the green, but at the top of the green. You want as much energy as possible for that flare, that cushion, sorry.
Here we go. Oop, that's into the red. Too much.
Now you've got plenty of time. The glide ratio is about 4 to 1. So for every foot you drop, you're flying 4 feet forwards. So it glides pretty well, to be honest.
Very smooth. Oh, someone's dropping. Is that you, Joe?
Yeah, it's me. I'm just going straight down.
I find that whenever I fly a helicopter, I'm pushing the bloody joystick into its socket. It's probably not very good for it.
Yeah, because you're under stress.
Yeah. Also because I modified the joystick.
Are you
as a-
auto-rotating as well, Albie?
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So if you need to circle to the right, do so, Aaron, to make sure that you're definitely in the clearing. 100 feet above the ground, that's when you begin the flare. Gentle at first, but then more pronounced as you go. You're just trying to... Yep, 100 feet above the ground. Look at your radar altimeter.
Yeah.
Your goal is to reduce your airspeed to pretty much nothing. You can start just above 100, like I started at about 100 if you just said my airspeed 0, and I'm just going to waft towards the ground,
100%.
and cushion. Oh, too much collective, I think. I bounced.
I think I destroyed one of my skids. I collapsed one of my skids. But I'm alive. I don't know how the hell my roaches are still on my aircraft, but anyway.
Yeah, you hit a bit hard. You got to cushion a bit more when you hit the ground. I think I cushioned too much because I actually ballooned back up into the air again. You're not meant to go up into the air.
No,
That was a good auto by Albie. There you go. That is the art of auto rotation. Very good. And also, because you've throttled, you can now throttle back up and go again.
Takes a while to throw it back up.
That's right.
Where'd Aaron end up?
It's uphill
there
and
he
right
is.
of us. Yep. So let us, Albie, let's just go see where our tails are pointing. Just do a 180, pedal turn around, and fly as fast as you can down this clearing. We're going to do a low level, high speed auto rotation.
Behind
So the
us,
goal
the
here
way
is
we
when
came.
you initiate the auto rotation and you cycling back, you actually cycling back a lot more than you normally would because you actually want to balloon up and gain altitude. In this case, you're trading speed for altitude.
Alright.
Climbing up, and up I go.
I'm gonna fly with one skid. Okay, this will be interesting.
Forward.
Off you get.
Go.
So nice and fast, and nice and low. Now remember what happened last time when you killed your engine, you plummeted and hit the ground. You're going to plummet quite rapidly, so you need to... The rear
What
cycling needs
speed?
to be quite pronounced.
What speed
faster
do we
the-
do it?
Well, the faster the better.
100?
Yeah, go 100. So
Yeah,
remember,
I'm at 100 now, I'm low.
you're going to plop down to make sure you cycle
Oops.
back quite a lot.
Okay, here we go. Whoa. And drop and collect.
Dropping.
Whoa. I overcorrected.
Clearing.
Oh, I cushioned it too much. Oh, that was bad, but good enough.
Oh, I did it too much as well. Fuck.
Survived.
I've survived. Fuck. I did it as well. Just very sloppy. Aaron is flying with one skid.
No skid, no skid. Why did I even manage to
Alright,
take off?
Let's go again, Albie. Low level, high speed auto. Follow me. I'm heading out to the south. Fast. Let's go. Let's go even faster. 120. So also, auto-rotating into wind is just as important as landing into wind, by the way. I'm at 100. I'm at 100. It's not going to get much better than that. 110 and engine failure.
So jerky.
So the method.
Method is the same.
Whoa!
Whoa, that's a big up. That's a big up.
That was a big up.
And I'm down. That was a lot better that time. That was actually not.
I still survived. Holy shit! I almost went vertical.
Oh, you're skidless.
Me? Holy shit!
Ever since my first auto.
So do you go full throttle back on the full stick back?
Pretty almost full stick. It's like as
Oh,
required.
okay. Because I went
Is
right
it-
back then and I almost went vertical.
Well, I mean, I did, but then like corrected, like leveled it off. Are you
Try that
flying,
again.
Aaron, or you auto rotating?
I'm still flying.
Just
Okay.
don't fly over your Chang, don't do that again.
I was indecisive
Yep.
about whether or not to go for the speed what you guys are doing, or whether or not I'm trying to do that.
Oh,
I will
Jesus.
try it anyway.
You will definitely blow up if you do that.
Here we go.
I'm following
Watch me, watch me. Oh, there's not much room up here.
Set up, make it work.
Get ready.
Because auto rotation.
100 and drop in throttle. Oh, no, too low.
Oh, that was a bounce. How do you do that, Jack?
That's not me. That's Albie.
No. How did you do that?
And engine failure.
Oh, there you are. Wait, you did the same as me, I think.
Yeah, too much. Oh. No, I'm still alive though. That's basically an auto rotation you can walk away from is a good auto rotation. But yeah, you guys are getting it. It's good. So, Aaron, you can give it a go without skid. So I don't think you're gonna survive. But
Okay, I'll go the opposite way to where you're going. Because I think we've reached the end of the
Haven't got much room before the trees. Let's see. One more. Run here. Oh, careful.
Don't worry, I'll be going.
Going down the golf course here.
I'm following
Underneath you,
Aaron
Chang.
to see what happens to him.
Oh shit.
Alright, I'll keep an eye on him too.
Oh dear. Yeah, here
Here
we
you go. Good.
Turning 180. Go back
Nice,
to where you can. There we go. So low level, nice and fast. And then you pull back in your cycling, but it's just more than usual because you want to balloon up slightly. This is the one time you actually want to balloon up and get a bit of altitude. But otherwise, the auto rotation is the same. You balloon up and you pretty much immediately start your flare.
Okay. So, speed 100, right?
Oh, you're gonna be able to do with whatever speed. Like I'm saying, auto rotations aren't nice to you. They don't count you in 3, 2, 1. They don't give you nice favourable speeds and altitudes.
I know. I'm just asking what you guys were doing it at.
I did it at 80
No.
before.
Okay. Alright. 3, 2, 1. No!
More. Yep, you need
Oh,
more.
nice.
Yeah, and now reduce your speed to 0 and cushion as normal.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I didn't
Oh, wow. Guess you're right up.
die.
Not too funny. Alright, I'm gonna try that. And cut.
Do I have someone flying around me or something? Because I don't know why I've still got smoke around me. As if I have rotor or something. Oh no, that was you. Fuck you.
Oh, that was a lucky one. Oh, no,
Yeah,
I've lost the skid.
Hey, can you stink?
Lost the skid.
I wish I could. Alright, well, you guys can respawn back at the base if you want, or we can call it there. It's up to you guys if you've had enough.
Yeah, I might have to head off, but I'm gonna try to take off and land with this skid.
This is an excellent screenshot. Oh fuck. How do you do screenshots again? Fuck no, you've left! Oh,
Print screen.
that's the one. I had an excellent screenshot, but then you decided to fuck off. Fuck you.
Look at that. I'm
Having
holding
no
level
skids.
on the skid.
Having
Hold
no
it level
skids, having no skids is the same as a slope landing, mate.
Oh, I dropped it down. There we go. Look, see? Holding it. One skid.
Way.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so why can't you
I'll
hover like
take
that
off.
all the time?
Hey?
Why can't you hover like that all
Hey,
the
I've
time?
been doing brilliantly this last half hour. Okay, here we go. Try to land it. Oh,
Slope
it's too
landing.
smoky.
It's just simulated slope landing.
I can't see anything. There's too much smoke. Oh, no, the other way, the other way. Ah.
Alright,
Just
now I'm
expect it.
gonna do a simulated tail rotor failure. So, Albie, I'm just gonna borrow your helicopter. I'm just gonna use it to break the tail rotor. That's alright. So, this is how you fix a tail rotor failure when you're hovering there. You throttle off because you're gonna remove the torque component, and then it's just a normal engine failure in the hover, basically. But you initiated the engine failure. That's all. Come on, brake, motherfucker!
I love how Chang is.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I just exploded. Okay.
Didn't sound good.
I was hoping to just break the tail rotor. But yeah, there's other emergencies you can do as well. So you can simulate, like, have someone come along and, like, break your tail rotor for you. And then if you're hovering there and all of a sudden you lose your tail rotor, you start spinning around. You just cut the throttle because then you stop spinning because you remove the torque. And then you just cushion to the ground, just like a engine failure in the hover.
Much. Swirly.
No worries. Oh, the other thing as well, by the way, is if you ever lose your tail rotor while flying, usually you're okay because the airflow keeps your tail to the rear. But when it comes to, like, you can keep flying like that in pretty much indefinitely. When it comes to actually landing, all you got to do is just like what we were doing just then with the simulated auto rotations. Just when you're ready to land, cut your throttle and auto rotate in. Because when your throttle is off, you don't need your tail rotor because there's no torque.
Gotcha.
So that's how you deal with tail rotors. You just basically turn the throttle off. So, and then you're just auto rotating as normal.
Yeah, dumping your collector is not enough. You actually got to cut the throttle because otherwise you still got engine power giving the force to the rotors, right?
Well, when you're in
And
level
therefore
flight, and you lose your tail rotor, you start by dumping the collective straight down, leave your throttle on, and that keeps you straight. And then you slowly introduce collective again, and you find there's like a balance point because there's a point where if you have too much collective, you'll just start spinning around, even if you're flying forwards. So you
Damn.
just find that balance point, and you try and keep it like straight and level. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Definitely. Very cool.
Yeah, no worries. FYI, everything I taught you, it works in DCS and it applies in real life as well. Like, it's exactly how it actually works. So you guys have learned how to fly actual helicopters.
Hey! I've only done one demo 1 hour lesson before, but yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's it. So, like, in the just this is a shout out, a plug to my YouTube channel. I actually have a playlist of all the lessons I've ever had, and all the things I did just then were all separate lessons. So it's like how to auto rotate, how to engine failure in the hover, etc., etc. It's actually there in real life as well, videos.
Chang, you don't need to plug it to me. I've been watching your videos since before I joined ASOR.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, because I saw you posted at one point in ASOR.
Yeah,
There
right.
you go.
Well, then okay, I guess if you send them, then Albie, then these lessons exist in real life as well.
Yes, and now,
Oh, look.
You look at there's a lesson. I think it's lesson 6. Oh no, not 6. It is lesson. Lesson 17, engine failure in the taxi. That's what happens in reality, but it doesn't happen in DCS. You can see the difference. And the one just before that, lesson 16, is engine failure in the hover. You got auto rotations and stuff as well. But anyway, enjoy.
Cool.
I just love how half the fun in a helicopter is crashing.
Yeah, it's just learning how to deal with emergencies.
Right.
They're all quite survivable.
I'll just